Hi there. If you're watching this on YouTube, or you're wanting to watch any of my content on my channel, or both for that matter, I would strongly recommend hitting the subscribe button and comment and like on any videos if you may wish, because this is a general audience channel. Also, this video is not made for kids, it is for older fans and adults alike. So please sit back and enjoy the video.
Trouble with the Express. Based on the original story by TARDIS9, adapted, edited, and told by Julyleonard. Just at the bottom of Gordon's Hill, on the inside line, the curve is significantly tighter than all the others. This was mainly so there would be enough space for the engines to go successfully navigate the curve without either hitting anything on either side of the line or coming off the rails if the train is going slow enough. If the train went too fast, it would tilt too much and come off the rails, whether if an engine is pulling trucks or not. Most of the engines on the Fact Director's Railway are very careful when going over this particular section of track. They knew it was for their own good, but 87546, however, had other ideas. "You're all just too scared," he scoffed one day. "You should try a bit more record-breaking and be a bit more daring like me." Edward rolled his eyes. He was one of the few engines who stood up to 98462 and 87546. "You, with all your speeding 87546, should at least know better than to go tearing around right corners," he argued. "Pah," retorted 87546. "That curve is safe enough to go at 100 miles per hour. I am being incredibly foolish," snapped Edward. "Agreed," said Gordon. "Express engines may be fastest and best, 87546, but our railway, safety, and being on time both share top priority." 87546 just snorted in disgust and set off to collect his coaches. The coaches were waiting for him in the yard. They had heard all about his and 98462's behavior with them, and they were not too keen on having him take them out. And they were right not to, for when 87546 backed towards them so sharply, he ended up bumping them hard. "Ow, ow, 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 ow!" they groaned. "Watch it, you big brute!" But 87546 took no notice. As soon as he was coupled up, he pulled out so sharply that, clang! A coupling broke, just in front of the first coach. "You silly engine!" snapped the shunter. "You ripped a coupling clean off. Now we'll have to find a replacement." But 87546 didn't care. He decided best to collect Gordon's coaches for the express instead. But everyone was still very cross with him. Things got worse for 87546 as the journey went on. At the next station, a signal was broken, so they had to stop to let off passengers anyway. 87546 seethed impatiently at this. "We should have gone through. We're late enough already," he moaned to his crew. "No one can say that we disagree with you," said his driver, who personally wanted to finish the journey, if only to get home and away from his disrespectful engine. "But it's orders." "Pah! You're just a goody two-shoes, too nervous to take a few tiny risks," said 87546 rudely. "We would have made it safely through the whole line if you weren't such a coward." "I'd rather be a coward than a reckless piece of scrap," the driver muttered to the fireman, who solemnly agreed with him. Half an hour later, amidst from the complaints from the passengers, not held by 87546's insults, the workmen had finished the signal. By then, some of the passengers had decided they had had enough, so they left the express anyway. 87546 grew crosser and crosser at this. When the guard blew his whistle again, he bumped and banged the coaches as they set off. "Ow, ow, 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 ow!" they screamed. "We don't like that! We don't like that! We don't like that!" "Shut up and get moving!" snapped 87546. "We're late enough already as it is." Every wise engine knows never to bump coaches, or else they would get back at them. They were soon climbing up Gordon's Hill when 87546 started to pick up speed. Since his train was now half empty, he didn't need a banker as much. As soon as they neared the top, the coaches began their tricks. "This is it!" thundered the first coach. "Let's get him, girls!" And banging their buffers, they pushed 87546 down the hill. To make matters worse, they were now on the down line, the same line as the sharp curve on the other side. When 87546 saw the curve ahead of him, he realized his mistake and tried to stop, but by then it was far too late. Crash! Luckily, the driver and fireman had jumped clear before the crash, but 87546 laid on his side, looking battered, bruised, and damaged. Edward soon arrived and moved alongside the wreckage. It was worse than he thought. He saw a few passengers outside the train, looking badly injured. One of them was being carried on a stretcher. "Get the injured passengers to the last station as fast as you can," ordered the guard. "I'll telephone for help." "Right away, sir," responded Edward, and quickly raced away with the injured passengers on board. Thankfully, the fat director wasn't among these injured passengers, but he was far from happy for what 87546 had done. "This is why I never liked these big engines," he snapped. "I would have thought you would know better than to do something as stupid as this, 87546. An engine of your size should know better than to go that ridiculously fast. Even Gordon knows that. But because of you, a few passengers were injured, one of whom, the vicar of Wellsworth, seriously." It wasn't my fault, sir. These coaches made me go faster," replied 87546. "Of course we did," snapped the first coach. "You bumped us, remember?" "And your own coaches, too," agreed another. "You wanted to go faster just because we were held up by a broken signal," agreed the third. "And we know how you and 9462 are like," finished a fourth. "So, not only you have put your passengers in danger, you've also been bumping and banging your coaches about again," yelled the fat director fiercely. "That's it. I have had it with you, 87546. As soon as you are mended, you will stay in the shed till we have decided what to do with you." As soon as 87546 was repaired, he returned to the sheds and was left there for a very, very, very long time. He resented the fat director fiercely for this, although he and 98462 would pay the price for their foolishness eventually.